Hi children, today we are going to discuss regarding materials and their properties. In our previous class, we discussed regarding materials and things, their definition, their properties we are going to discuss now. So, how materials are selected to make objects we are going to discuss in this class. So, let's go with our textbook page. It's page number 46. So we go with the questions given here first. We discuss those questions. Properties of materials. So first question. What type of material can you use to make a window when you don't want someone to see through it? Yes children, you all know. We use a window that which is made up of wood. Yes. And we can use a plastic window. Nowadays plastic windows are going on. Yes. Through plastic also we couldn't see. Yes. Next question. What type of material can you use to make a window when you want to see through it? Through what could we see children? Like glass, isn't it or not? So glass windows are used to see through them. Next question. Can you make a cricket ball with mud or glass? Can you make children? No, not at all. Why? Why? Because we don't want the cricket ball to be broken. Yes or no? Yes. Next. Can you make a chair with glass or mud? No. Why? We want it to be stable. We want it to sit on it. We don't want it to break. Isn't it or not? Yeah, right. Next. Next topic we go with. Let us examine the properties of materials and their usage. We begin with properties of material that we easily recognize. Okay children, let's start. The first property is transparency. What is transparency? Let's see with the example. Why do shopkeepers usually store eatables like sweets and biscuits in glass jars? Yes children, we all be going to shops, no? You could see in shops many of the glass jars being kept, and even the table, it has a glass. Inside all the materials, all the things have been kept. As children, why do we use that glass jars? Why? Because the shopkeeper wants his customers to be able to see those items, isn't or not? Without looking the items we couldn't buy. For to easily visible, they use glass jars. We all know that we can easily see through glass. Such materials are said to be transparent. You could see here in the picture children. Page number 46 right side you have the shopkeeper with the glass jars, and remaining at the back in the cupboard also covered with glass to make all the sweets to be visible to all the customers. So what is the property? Transparent. The materials through which we could see easily are called transparent materials. Let's see. So actually materials, how many types we have? Let's go with that. Materials and light. There are three different types of materials that light will or will not pass through: transparent, translucent, and opaque. So how these materials and light are interconnected children? Yes, they are interconnected. How? If light falls on any object, that will be reflecting to our eyes, then only we could see that. This is how we could see each and everything, because of light. If no light, can we see anything children? No, not at all. Okay, so based on light, these properties of materials also changes. Based on that, we could say what type of material is that. So now we discuss with transparent materials. So transparent. What is a transparent material? An object that is clear and light can pass through. That is a transparent material. You could see here children, the arrow mark is a light, that the object you could see through which the light is passing. That is a transparent material. Transparent material, when we produce light through a torch, the light will be completely fallen to the other side. That all light passes through that material. That material is transparent material. Transparent, having the property of transmitting rays of light through its substance, so that bodies situated beyond or behind can be distinctly seen. So these transparent materials have the property to show everything that it is present to the opposite side of it. Transparent objects allow you to see clearly through them. Some examples are here: window, yes, the glass, magnifying glass, spectacles, and even the glass timer as children. So transparent materials let light pass through them in straight lines so that you can see clearly through them. So examples we could give: eyeglasses, a window pane, an aquarium, etc. So we see things because they reflect light into our eyes. This is the property of light, helping us to know about the type of material. Next, can you see through plastic or can you see through wood? Can you see, children? No, we couldn't see. We cannot see through some materials like wood, steel, cardboard. Such materials are said to be opaque. This is the other property of materials, that is opaque. Well, let's see with the definition. Opaque, an object that light cannot pass through. You could see object, it is not allowing the arrow mark to go. That arrow mark is the light ray. It is not allowing that light ray to pass through it. That is opaque. Could see here, torch, when we transmitted light rays, the object is not passing the light rays through it, so no light passes through. Opaque, impenetrable to light, not allowing light to pass through. That is opaque material. Opaque objects do not let any light through them. You cannot see through them. Some examples of opaque objects are carrot. Can we see through carrot, children? No. Teddy, it's a soft toy, we couldn't see. Door, plastic door, we couldn't see. Shoes, no. Bricks, no, not at all. Through these materials, objects, we could not see anything. So these are opaque objects. Let's go with some examples here of opaque objects. Heavy weight paper, cardboard, aluminium foil, mirror. In mirror we could see ourselves. Yes or no, children? We couldn't see that which is opposite to that mirror. Bricks, buildings, your eyelid and hands, solid wood door. Yes, these are examples of opaque objects. Next we go with activity 3 of the same page. Identifying transparent and opaque objects from the table 4. We have given the activity here. Let's we identify which is a transparent and which is a opaque object. Plastic, it's a opaque object. Glass jar, transparent. Steel plate, opaque. Mirror, opaque. Wooden door, opaque. Polythene bag, transparent. Paper, opaque. Okay, next we go with the page number 47. We have activity 4 here. Let's we go. Activity 4. Are we able to see through a paper? Let's see. Take a sheet of white paper and try to see a lighted bulb through it. Can we see? Record your observation that we could not see. Now put a few drops of oil on that sheet and again try to see the bulb through it. What difference do you notice? Yes, we notice some difference, children. What's that? You notice that in the first case, you can't see the bulb. First case is, what is the first case? Through white paper, we are noticing a bulb. We could not see it. But in second case, where after applying few drops of oil to that white paper, we could see the bulb. So, the materials through which we can see objects but not very clearly. Listening, children, The materials through which we can see objects but not very clearly are said to be translucent. Already I said you, through the materials which we can see clearly are transparent, which we can't see at all, opaque. But we could see but not clearly through the object. That object is translucent. Oily paper is an example of a translucent substance. Some glass panes fixed to windows allow some light to come through, but you can't see clearly through them. Such type of glass is translucent glass. Yes, we keep window panes. We use those glasses. Can you give some more examples of translucent objects, children? Let's we go with. See, first of all, what is the definition of translucent again? An object that is cloudy and only allows part of the light to pass through is a translucent object. You could see here a cool drink glass through which some of the light could pass through. That is translucent. Translucent. Only some light passes through it, not complete. All the rays couldn't pass. You could see children in the picture. So translucent is that which is permitting light to pass through but diffusing it so that persons, objects, etc. on the opposite side are not clearly visible. Frosted window glass is translucent but not transparent. Okay, next. Translucent objects only let some light through them. You cannot see clearly through a translucent object. Some examples are oiled paper, frosted glass, painted glass. Okay. Translucent materials that allow only some light to pass through. Objects allow light to pass through, but they scatter the rays so much that you cannot get a clear view of what is on the other side. Examples of translucent materials are thin fabrics, frosted glass, thin paper, etc. We could see here more examples: frosted glass, thin fabrics, tracing paper, tinted glass, colored plastics, clouds. Okay, next, another activity they gave here to made by you. Try this. Take a torch, switch it on and see. Does the light pass through the torch glass? Yes, through the torch glass light passes, then only we could get the light. Yes. Now cover the torch glass with your palm. What do you observe? Light cannot come outside, isn't it, children? If you close with the palm, light can't come out. So we could not see light. Next, now cover the torch glass with oily paper. What do you observe? With oily paper, some of the light comes out, not completely brightness. Yes, brightness will be decreased. So in the above activity, when do you observe transparent, translucent and opaque property? Discuss. When do you observe, children? First, when we switch on the torch glass, when light comes out, that is the property of transparent, the property of the glass present in the torch. Next, when you close completely with your palm, you couldn't see light outside. Yes or no, children? That is the property opaque. Next, when you keep an oily paper, only some amount of light comes out. The brightness decreases. That is the translucent property. Okay. In this way, we could observe these three properties by using a torch glass and our palm, oil paper, etc. Okay. Next, you could see the complete comparison of the three properties of materials: transparent, translucent and opaque. Transparent passes all the light through the material. Translucent, only some light passes through the material. Opaque, it doesn't pass any light ray through it. You could see here also, children, the comparison of transparent, translucent and opaque objects. See, transparent object, translucent object, opaque object. Next, we have state of the materials. In the chapter on rain, you have studied the relationship between ice, water and water vapor, the three states of water. Yes or no, children? You would have noticed that when ice is added to a glass of lemon juice, the ice begins to melt and after some time all of it becomes water and the outer surface of the glass becomes wet. Isn't or not, children? We be drinking lemon juice. When we need some cool lemon juice, we add a cube of ice. Where that ice begins to melt, the water becomes cool, and the outer surface starts giving water droplets after getting wet. Is it or not? Let's we see. Here, the picture of a lemonade, a glass with ice cubes, the lemon juice with the ice cubes. You could see here addition of ice cubes to the lemon juice. So after addition of ice cubes to the lemon juice, where while drinking a cold glass of lemonade on a hot summer day, a person feels water on the outside of the glass. Yes or no, children? Did the water on the outside of the glass most likely come from the lemonade, the ice, the glass surface, or the air? From where do we get that water on the outer surface of the glass with the ice cube? Let's see. That is the property of condensation. What is condensation first of all? Water vapor in the air gets cold and changes back into liquid, forming clouds. This is called condensation. Yes, children, what is evaporation? What is evaporation, children? Liquid changing into vapor is evaporation. In turn, that vapor again cools down to form water is condensation. So air currents move clouds around the globe. Yes, you can see the same sort of thing at home. Pour a glass of cold water on a hot day and watch what happens. Water forms on the outside of the glass. Yes, that water didn't somehow leak through the glass. It doesn't leak through the glass. It actually came from the air. The air water vapor, what it is, it comes and hits the water glass. There it will be cooled and it will be staying on the glass surface only. In the way it forming water droplets on the glass. Water vapor in the warm air turns back into liquid when it touches the cold glass. You could see in the picture, children, condensation due to expansion of air, solid changing into liquid, liquid changes to gas. Okay, condensation due direct cooling of air. This occurs. So condensation. Think of condensation as evaporation in reverse. Yes or no, children? Evaporation, liquid to vapor. Condensation, vapor to liquid. So it's a reverse of evaporation. If warm humid air comes in contact with a cold glass, water droplets form. In other words, water has been converted from a gas to liquid on the glass. So clouds form the same way. It is showing in what way clouds are formed and how clouds are forming again to rain. So you could see here cold glass, we have water droplets, warm moist air, that is showing due to condensation. Okay, next, conversion from solid to liquid. By addition of some energy in the form of heat, the solid converts into liquid. Yes or no? If we heat the water in a vessel, we notice that after some time, water vapor is produced. If heating is continued, more and more vapor is produced in the form of steam and the quantity of water in the vessel keeps decreasing. Okay, let's see what's happening here. If we heat the water in a vessel, we notice that after some time water vapor is produced. Yes or no? If heating is continued, more and more vapor is produced and it forms as steam and the quantity of water will be decreasing. Let's see here. On heating, the ice is melted and some of the vapors are formed. If we heat more, what happens? On more heating, the liquid is converting into vapor. That vapor is increasing and a steam is formed. Next, some materials change their state from solid to liquid, liquid to gas on being heated, and from gas to liquid, liquid to solid on being cooled. We sort materials as solids, liquids, or gases based on their state at normal temperature. Okay, so we divided matter into three forms: solids, liquids, and gases based on temperature. So what does this mean? Only one substance goes into the reaction and one substance comes out. Yes or no? Water only going in the form of solid into liquid and again to gas. Only water is going and water is coming. So states of matter can exist in various forms or states. The three states of matter that are the most common are called solid, liquid and gaseous states. So next, can you think of any material other than ice that goes from solid to liquid, liquid to gas? Yes, we have, that is a candle wax, candle wax. Next activity, activity 5. Light a candle. You might have lit a candle with a matchstick many times, holding the burning matchstick to touch the wick of the candle until the wick catches fire. Yes or no, children? Yes. Can you light the candle without touching the wick? Let's we see that afterwards. First we go with, here the candle lighted. That solid wax turns to molten wax. That molten wax again turns to wax vapor when we lit off the fire. Yes children, this is how, the same way as like water, here wax also changing into 3 forms: solids, liquids and gas. Interconversion of state of wax, this is shown. Next, page number 48. Can you light the candle without touching the wick with a burning matchstick? See children, can you light? Do you think this is impossible? Let us see how it can be done. Place a candle in a safe place and light it. The first time, the candle cannot be lit without touching the wick with the burning matchstick. Yes children. So first we need, the matchstick should be touched to the wick. So do just that the first time. Let the candle burn for some time. After about 2 minutes, hold a burning matchstick in one hand and blow the candle out. What do you notice? What did you notice, children? Did you see a column of white smoke rising from the wick as soon as you extinguish the flame? Yes, we could notice. Now quickly bring the burning matchstick close to the smoke, but do not touch the wick with it. What happens? What happens? See children, this is the candle. It is lit off. We could get the white smoke. As we bring the lighted matchstick near to the white smoke of the candle, we could see the wick is again lit. Yes children, you could notice the wick is again lit. Could the candle catch fire from a distance? Yes, candle catch fire from a distance. If you wish, you can make a game of this. What is the maximum distance from which candle can be lit, children? Till the white smoke rises. The distance till the white smoke rises. Till then we could lit a candle. Discuss with your friends how and why the candle got lit from a distance. Discuss why. Why? Because this candle wax changed from solid to liquid and liquid to gas. That vapor is of candle only, so it could catch the fire. Yes, does the white smoke represent candle wax in the state of gas? Yes, obviously it represents the state of gas of the candle. Okay, so this is about our part 2 of our materials and things lesson. Okay, we discussed regarding the properties of materials.